What's up, y'all? It's FTKComputer. Welcome back to another episode of Tea Time. How are you guys doing? I'm doing good. I am currently filming late at night because my janky apartment complex that I can no longer afford to live in is doing construction all day, so it's super loud. So if I'm talking kind of softly, it's because I don't want to wake people up because the walls are kind of thin. But thank you guys for tuning in to another episode. Let's jump right into today's question. All right, it says, I could use some advice. Crying emoji. Oh no. Hey FTK, my name is Beck and I am LGBT plus. I love your content, and since I generally agree with you, I wanted to ask you something. Part of being LGBT is coming out, but you don't just come out once. It happens every time you meet someone new. Unfortunately, with this being the case, it leaves me in the extremely vulnerable position of having to open up to strangers. I've tried just telling people when we initially meet, but that's put me in a position where I've been harassed by people who seemed otherwise kind. I've also tried feeling people out, talking to them for a week or more about the subject before I deemed it safe to come out. However, that tends to lead them into gaslighting me. Having them get upset and say stuff like, I can't believe you didn't trust me enough, or something along those lines. It's frustrating and seems like someone is always going to be upset with me. I just don't know what to do at this point. Both put me in extremely uncomfortable and vulnerable situations, especially if the interactions take place face to face. What do you suggest I do? All right, Grammar, good job. So before I give my opinion, I just want to let everyone know that with these tea time videos, please, if you're watching the video and you have an opinion or a perspective to give, please leave it in the comments section. The whole point of this is to just kind of be a conversation. I don't claim to be any kind of professional on any of these topics. The point is just for me to give an unbiased opinion, but it doesn't mean that my opinion is like the 100% best opinion out there. So I feel like everyone, if you are watching, please give your thoughts and opinions, especially if the question resonates with you. Leave it in the comments. Just be kind. That's the only parameters here. All right, so Beck, before I give you my opinion, I just want to preface this by saying I think that my thoughts on this may come off as a bit gaslighty, but I want you to take what I say with a grain of salt, sit with it, let it marinate, and I think that you may understand where I'm coming from with this, because I think that it may sound a little bit, what's the opposite of sensitive? Unsensitive, like I'm being like not sensitive. I don't know, my grammar sucks. But it's not, and I get what you're saying, and I'm sorry that it's hard, and I think you're always going to be in these kind of uncomfortable situations. But I think that, all right, let me give you an example. This really reminds me of a time in my life. Oh, can I tell this? Okay, so people I really know in real life watch my channel, so I don't want to be too descriptive because I don't want this drama to come back up. But I had a job. Gather around the campfire, children. Let me tell you a little story. Okay, I had my first office job. Okay, it wasn't nothing big. I say office job, but it was in an office. Let me say that. I had an office job, and me. One of the things that I've learned about myself, and I think I've especially learned about it as I've moved away from my hometown. So I'm from New Orleans, and I've lived up north, and I think that one of the things that I learned about the kind of person I am is that I tend to wear my emotions on my sleeve. And what I say by that is that I'm one of those people that if I feel some type of way about something, I'm gonna just say it, right? If I don't like something that someone does, I'm going to say, hey, I don't like that you did that. If I think somebody's doing a good job, I'm gonna say, hey, I think you're doing a good job. If I think someone is being messy, I'm gonna be like, you being messy. I'm like that. That is very much my way of operating through this life. Okay, and I feel like it is very common for people from New Orleans, I feel like a lot of people from New Orleans just are very upfront about their emotions. Not in a mean way. Like, you know, I'm not mean. I don't be like confronting people and yelling at them. I'm just like, I just want you to know exactly how I feel, because I think that I don't want anything to get confused, you know? And I learned very quickly that in the corporate workplace, in an office, that is not how things are done. Okay? People are very passive aggressive. People are very shady. They're afraid to confront people and I mean like confront them in a professional manner. Like if somebody does something that you don't agree with, you know, my way of handling it would be go straight to that person and try to nip it in the bud, try to come up with a solution. But it would make people very uncomfortable. Where I would see other people, it was like people would do something that would make them mad. They'd pretend that they were okay with it, then talk shit about people behind their backs, then write a email to someone above it, and then be like, oh, well, don't tell them I told you, but you know, that's how they handle stuff. And so because of how I am, I had a lot of issues at this job, to say the least. And I think it really came to a head when I caught two of my managers in a lie. Okay, I caught them in a lie. They made a decision and told me the reason that they made this decision was because someone higher up in the company said it was mandatory for that me and my coworker, that we had the same position, it was mandatory for us to participate. And I immediately questioned it because it didn't make sense to me. And that was the answer they gave me. They were like, well, it's because this person said so. And of course, when I run into that person, I'm like, hey, let me pick your brain. Like, I just want to understand like why you made this decision, because I don't think it really makes sense. And I'm kind of confused and it's just very inconvenient. You know, I'm like presenting my side. I'm like, hey, this is why I think this. And he's going to tell me, I never said that. What are you talking about? And so I caught them in a lie. It ended up in a huge blowout. And ever since that day, I was like contractually responsible of being there for the rest of the year. And it was just so hard because I didn't trust anyone. I had so many little situations where people were like blaming me for things and saying that I was bullying people because I would like call them out on BS, and they were like, oh, he's a bully, he likes to confront people and he's aggressive, and all kinds of foolishness, like just dumb things. And it caused me a lot of stress. It really caused me so much stress. And like at this job, I had to encounter so many new people, and I'd have to work with new people. And every time I worked with somebody, I'd be so nervous because I'm like, I don't trust any of y'all. Y'all are all fake. Y'all are all messy. Like in my mind, I would just be like, I don't trust none of y'all. Y'all are so like, and I was passionate about my work. You know, I was passionate about this job. I wanted to do well, and it caused me so much stress. Now, at the same time, while I was doing this, I was doing an internship as well, which was also why I was stressed out. But my manager at my internship was amazing. She was an art therapist by like, she had a master's in art therapy, but she really was caring about like doing service, and like she dedicated her time to helping people. And so she was my manager at this internship, and she would notice that I was always so stressed out and so just kind of, you know, tired and frustrated. And I usually use her to vent because she just had such a calming personality and she could help me through my issues. And then one day she just realized, you know, it's like every day I come with a new issue, I come with a new problem, some new person that I hated. And what she told me, she was like, we had a one-on-one session, and she was like, let me ask you a few questions because I think your perspective is off. And I was like, all right, what's the questions? And she's like, you know, these people at your job, like, are they your family? Are they your friends? And I'm like, no, not really. And she's like, are they paying your rent? I'm like, I mean, the company does, but they don't specifically. She's like, okay, but are they cooking your dinner? Are they putting gas in your car? You know, are they tucking you in? And I'm like, I don't understand where you're going with this. I'm kind of confused. And she's like, the point that I'm making is, why are you letting these people determine anything about your life when it's very clear that you don't like them anyway? Like, why are you letting these people stress you out so much when you just said that they do not contribute specifically to your life at all? And I'm like, well, I feel like they're disrespecting me. At the time I was oh my God, I was so mad. I'm like, they disrespecting me. I'm the only one who's keeping it real in the office, and I'm like trying to fix all the issues, and all they'd rather do is be messy and talk behind people's backs, and I'm trying to bring it. And she's like, okay, but like, like they aren't she's like, they aren't disrespecting you. There's not, she said there's no one can physically disrespect you, right? There's no like sticker that someone can put on your chest, and now that you have that sticker, you are officially disrespected, right? The reason you're feeling disrespected, and this is what she was telling me, the reason that you're feeling disrespected is because you are putting value in what these people think about you. And I'm like, okay, but you're oversimplifying it. But as I really sat on it, and I mean, it took a while, but once I really got it and it clicked, did it click? Because I realized that I'm letting people stress me out that I don't really give a F about, right? When I go home, I'm caring about what these people think, and I'm like practicing like what I'm gonna say, and like trying to soften my tone, trying to speak more white, like trying to do everything to try to please these people that we're just not gonna be pleased anyway. But like, the reason it was causing me stress underneath everything else, and I guarantee you I had valid reasons for being stressed, but the reason that it was causing me this stress is because I placed value in what people thought of me that had no business judging me at all anyway. And so let's bring it back around town. I'm gonna bring it back around to your initial question, because I think that if you can really grasp this concept and understand it, I think that it will make your life so much easier, just in every aspect. These people, because you said you called them strangers, so I'm assuming they're either going to be like classmates, because I'm like, they're strangers, but they must be people that you have to at least interact with for a period of time. So they're probably either your classmates or your coworkers, right? And you have to think, like, what value are these people bringing into your life, right? Are they putting gas in your car? Are they paying your rent? Are they giving you back massages? Are you having sex with them? Like, are they feeding you dinner? Are they running your bathwater? Like, are they doing anything to benefit your life? And most likely the answer is going to be no. And because the answer is no, you have to think, their thoughts on your sexuality or your gender identity, does it really matter? Whether you decide to, like you said, whether you decide to feel it out and come out eventually, or you decide to come out as soon as you meet somebody, or you decide not to come out at all, it is your story to tell or not to tell, or to tell as slow or as fast as you want, and that needs to be respected. And if somebody does not respect that, then it is not that is a good way to tell that their opinion about you ain't worth shit. It is trash. So do not, let that validation and that value that you place on yourself come from you. Come from your family, come from your friends. Random strangers that you meet and that you interact with and that you may have to come out to eventually, or what they think after that happens, after you've made the decision of what you're gonna say, it don't matter. If they try to gaslight you and say, well, I can't believe you waited this long and you didn't trust me, and I'm not trying to hear all that. Okay, thank you. Well, now. And keep it pushing, because their opinion doesn't matter. So I just to recap, really think about what value a person is bringing into your life before you let their opinion affect you in any way. Bottom line, period. So that's my thoughts on it. If you have some thoughts on it, please leave your perspective. Thank you so much for sending in your question. It was a great question. I will see you guys later. Thanks for all the questions and all the love and all the support. Subscribe, like, share, all that stuff. I will talk to you guys later. Peace.